We are all guilty of buying books only because the cover. Oh, it's pretty! I done a few book hauls before, and sometimes I said that I bought the book only because the cover, but I still talked about the book and what the book is about. What you don't know is that behind the scenes, I didn't knew anything about this book until they got to me and I read the synopsis. So I actually bought a few books without knowing anything about them, and today I'm going to talk about them. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jane, and today I'm going to talk about books that I bought only because the cover. So before we get started, I wanted to do an honorable mention of two books that I already read and talked about in a reading vlog, and I'm talking about Horrid and Wilder Girls. I was looking after horror books for my first time reading horror vlog, and I just saw those two books and I had to get them, and only when they got to me, I read the synopsis and understood what the book is about. I just love those covers so much, and I'm actually really sad that I bought Wilder Girls in a paperback because it's also a stiff paperback, which I really hate, and you're going to see it today, but covers that I really love I usually buy in hardcovers. Pretty sad that I have this book in a paperback, but I don't really care about it because I DNF this book. So yes, except those two books that I already read, all the books that I'm going to talk about today are books that I didn't read and books that I bought only because the cover. The first book is A Dark and Hollow Star by Ashley Shuttleworth. So this is a new release that released in 2021, and this is one of my first ever pre-orders. Now you can see that this cover is just gorgeous. This cover is just so pretty, and when I bought this book I knew nothing about it except that this is a YA fantasy story about fae, and I talked about this book in my mini book haul, and like only when I filmed the book haul I read the synopsis. But I still don't really know what this story is about. I know that this book following 4 queer teenagers, which is really cool. I really love to see representation in books, so it got me really excited. But in the last time I actually see a lot of bad reviews about this book. I see a lot of people give 1 or 2 stars, so it makes me not really want to read this book soon. This is a pretty long book. It has almost 500 pages, but like the book is really big, so yes, it's 500 pages, but it feels to me more because the book is really tall and big. So I'm not sure when I will read this one because again, I'm pretty anxious from all the bad reviews that I heard, but I really love to look at this cover. I think the cover is so gorgeous. The second book that I bought also only because the cover is Heiress, apparently, by Maas. Now, I hold this book in my first book haul ever in January, so it's been a while and I still didn't read it, but I actually really excited to read this one. And when I bought this book, the only thing that I know is that this book is about a girl who apparently is something royal, and like, I love anything royal, but when I got this book, I read the synopsis, and now I know that the main character is actually dreaming to be a star, and she gets an opportunity to go to Beijing to act in a very important role in a movie or a TV show, I'm not sure. And like, apparently her family is a really important family in Beijing, and if you are not new to the channel, you know that I really love anything royal. And when I'm thinking about it, I actually didn't read a lot of royal books in 2021, and like 2021 isn't my best reading year so far, so maybe this is a sign that I need to read more books in a royal setting because I really love those books. But yes, this book is just so gorgeous, and I'm so happy that I decided to get this book in a hardcover because the hardcover is so gorgeous. Also without the really gorgeous dust jacket. Like, everything feels vintage because there is yellowish paper and dots. Looks so cool, and I actually really love short hardcovers. I don't know why. I think that maybe I prefer long books in a paperback and short books in a hardcover because hardcovers are usually really heavy, and I really love like a short and small hardcover. They are just so fun to read. I'm actually really excited to read this one, and I don't know why I didn't get to this one yet, so I hope that I will read it soon, and I'm sure that my experience reading it with this really pretty edition is going to be really fun. So yes, hopefully I will read it soon. The next book is The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kaylee Barnhill, and this is a middle grade book. Now, I'm usually not reading middle grade books. I usually find it really hard to read because I love to read books that feel to me more mature, and like in 2021, by now now I feel that YA books disappoint me sometimes because they feel not really mature to me. So why did I buy a middle grade book if I'm usually not reading middle grade? So the reason is actually really exciting is because I have a new vlogging series coming really soon, hopefully in the next 2-3 weeks, and I'm really excited about this vlogging series. I'm actually working on it for a long time. I just didn't have time to film the first episode, and I needed some books in genres that I usually don't read for this series. So I just searched after recommendations for middle grade books, and like you can guess, I saw this book and I bought it only because the cover is so pretty, but I really hate the sticker. After I got the book, I read the synopsis, and like this is about a witch who takes care after a few children, and she usually gives them to drink the sun or something like this, and the girl in the book accidentally drank the moon and not the star. So this is like a fantasy middle grade story, and it actually sounds really cute. Now I'm not sure when I'm going to read it, but if my new vlogging series will make me to read it, I'm actually really excited because it sounds really cute, and I do want to give more chances to genres that I usually don't read. Like for example, thrillers. I didn't read a lot of thrillers in my life, and also today I don't love thrillers as much as I loved fantasy or sci-fi books, but there is a few thrillers that I read and I really loved. So maybe this will be a middle grade book that I will really love, hopefully. But yes, the cover is just so pretty. The next book that I bought is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno-Garcia. I didn't buy this book only because the cover, I also bought it because the hype. This is like a very hyped up book. I think this book won in the Goodreads Choice Award for like the best horror book in 2020. I will definitely be reading it in this season because I'm so excited to read it. But yes, I think that also the cover is gorgeous, and also now that I know a little bit more about the story, I think the story is really interesting because this is a horror Gothic story, and I never read a horror Gothic story before. And this is also an historical fiction, which is really cool. And the main character is trying to solve a mystery in a family or something like this. Again, I don't know a lot about the story. I bought it only because the cover, but I'm really excited to read more horror books, especially horror books with really gorgeous covers. This is also a book that really pretty without the dust jacket. And I'm usually not saying that. Like, I'm those kind of people who prefer to keep the dust jacket on. But yes, I'm really excited to read it. The next book is another new release that I'm really excited to read, and this is The Infinity Course by Ekemi Down Bowman. Now, when I saw this cover, I just clicked purchase right away because it looks so pretty. I really love the design, and I also find that I really love covers with characters on them. Yes, I'm actually looking at all the books that I already talked about, also the last book after this one, and all of them has characters on them, so I think I know which style of book covers I like the most. But this cover is just really pretty, and this author, Ekemi, is actually an author that I really want to check her stuff like for a long time. She wrote Starfish and Books with Chloe, one of my favorite booktubers. Really love this book. So when I saw that she's releasing a new book, I just told myself that I have to get this one. And after I ordered this one, I realized that also the plot of the story sounds so cool, and the main character of this plot dies. So this is about the Infinity Courts after the death, and like I didn't read any after death story before, but it sounds really cool, and I really hope that it actually will be cool because I heard mixed reviews about it, but I'm really excited about the idea of the book. So hopefully I will enjoy it as much as I enjoy the cover. The last book is a book that I'm terrified to read, and this is A House of Heart and Blood, the first book in the Crescent City series by Sarah J. Maas. Now, I never read a Sarah J. Maas book before, and also I'm not planning to read this book anytime soon. I really want to read the series A Court of Thorns and Roses, but I'm still debating if I want to read A Throne of Glass before or just go right away to A Court of Thorns and Roses. And I'm not going to read this book after I will try to read 4 other books. And until today, I don't know anything about this book. The only thing that I know is that this is an adult fantasy, and I'm really trying to get more into an adult fantasy. And I also found out after I bought this book that there is like a bodyguard trope in this book, and like I really love the bodyguard trope, and I really want to read more books with the bodyguard trope. But I think that this is the most beautiful book that I have on my bookshelf, and I bought this book book only because the cover, because I know that I'm not going to read this book anytime soon, but the cover is so pretty. And when I actually got the book and when I removed the dust jacket, I was shocked to see what is under the dust jacket. Like what? So beautiful. This is the book that I'm holding in my profile picture, and although I didn't read it, I just keep staring in it all the time. It's so gorgeous. Also with the dust jacket and also without the dust jacket. I really want to read this one, but I'm also really terrified. This is like a really long book, but it's so pretty and I'm really glad that I bought this book. Also, if I'm not planning to read it soon, just so I can keep looking at this book. Let's put the dust jacket on again. Like, I really think that this is the most beautiful book in my bookshelf. I love it so much. Like, we already understand that I really love characters on the cover, and also you have a really beautiful art. Just so pretty. I just love so much how much work they put into this book. I really love to see so many little and beautiful details. This book is just so pretty. So yes, those are the books that I bought only and only because the cover. I have more really gorgeous books with really gorgeous covers, but those books are actually books that I bought only because of the cover. I actually didn't know anything about the books before I bought them, and like, I really love to keep staring at those books because they are so pretty, and I think that you can understand how fun it is to keep staring at a really beautiful book, especially reading a really beautiful book. This is just an amazing experience. So I'm really excited to read all of them, especially because the cover, because reading a book with a really beautiful cover is really fun. I have an extra video this week that coming up on Friday with a really exciting announcement. I know that only my last video was an announcement, but this announcement was for a casual short readathon, and the announcement on Friday is for a long-term something, and I'm really excited about it. I'm sorry if the camera angle changed. My phone just got too hot and stopped recording, but if you haven't turned on the notification bell and you want to get a notification when the really exciting announcement will be finally up, you can do it now. I'm uploading 2 times a week on Sundays and Wednesdays, but until the announcement and until the next video, you can check more videos by me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone!